Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim HaKakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone that rule well, and peace and salutations to the elect of Israel. To you I say Shalom. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the flock of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai. And this lesson is going to be entitled Jacob the Supplanter, right? Because I came across this article, and the headline goes, A Georgia inmate impersonates billionaire and steals $11 million from him. I said, this man is in jail and he's running schemes and scams, man. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not glorifying what this man did in any way, shape, or form, right? What this man did was deceit and robbery, man. All right. So I'm not giving credit to this man for committing wickedness, but, our people are wise to do evil. All right. Let me first jump to Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Right. So I'm not going to call something wicked good, and vice versa. I'm not going to call something good evil. Right. Because Scripture says, "Woe unto the people that do such things," man. So I'm not saying that Jake is the man, or he came up by doing this. Even though he did technically come up, but he probably screwed himself in the long run, right? Because they know who did it, they know how much he took, and since he's already in jail, they're just going to add more time in, right? So they add more time, right? So he's never going to get out of prison, but because by the time he gets out of prison, this place is going to be destroyed, right? So he'll never get to enjoy the fruits of his quote unquote labor, right? But let me go back to this article real quick. Billionaire's name was Sidney Kimmel. All right. And it says in 2020, federal authorities accused a man who was locked up in a maximum security facility in Georgia of stealing millions through impersonation while behind bars. So now this man was locked up or is locked up in a maximum security prison. All right. So they're stricter and they're tougher on rules and regulation and things that you can have, such as contraband, cell phones, and so on and so forth. Because you'll see photos of people in prison with Domino's Pizza, KFC. I seen a photo of a dude in prison with a fucking J's on, and he had a puppy. How the hell do you have a dog in prison? It's beyond me. All right, it must not be maximum security, but this man was locked up in maximum security prison. All right, continue on our article. New information regarding the case has just been released, according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Officials continue to investigate a case in which 31-year-old Georgia Department of Corrections Special Management Unit inmate, that's a damn long ass title, Arthur Lee Cofield Jr. impersonated billionaire Sidney Kimmel in order to steal 11 million. The money that Cofield stole for Kimmel was taken from the California-based CEO's Charles Schwab account. All right, so basically, this man using impersonations. What they call this in the scamming world is phishing, right? You'll call somebody up pretending to be somebody else, and you'll fish for information so you can use it for something else, man. Use it for schemes, man. All right, but let me jump over to Genesis chapter 27. Genesis 27. You know what? You know what? Let me just read this whole account so we get the gist of it. Well, I'll skip through a couple precepts. I'll skip through it. Genesis 27, starting from the top. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son and said unto him, My son. And he said unto him, Behold, here I am. And he said, Behold, now I am old, I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field and take me some venison. All right, because Esau was a man of the field and blessed with the sword. So, and he was a cunning hunter. So go, Isaac, his father, telling him to go get him some deer, venison, right? Verse 4, and make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. Right? So Isaac knew he was about to perish soon. So he said, let me get a final meal. Right? Verse 5, and Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son, and Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, Bring me venison and make me savory meat, that I may eat and bless thee before the Lord Yahweh before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Right? The mom saying, Yo, Isaac is about to bless Esau, so I'm gonna put you up a game while he's out in the field. Right? Do what I say. Verse 9. All right, and this isn't a thievery, because this was prophesied to happen from the get-go, man. Right? Because even when Esau and Jacob were in the womb, the scripture says the elder shall serve the younger. Right? And Esau Edom was born first, right? The so-called white man was born before Jacob, so he is the elder, which is going to serve the younger. All right. Genesis 27:9. Go now to the flock and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats. Kids meaning baby goats, right? And I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will fill me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me and not a blessing. Right. So Jacob was worried that, since he wasn't as hairy as Esau, that Isaac was going to discover him, even though he couldn't see, he'll feel him, he'll reach out, feel his arm or his hands. Right? Because sometimes you'll see an Edomite's hands and their hair, even their knuckles are hairy, man. But he was worried that, his father will curse him instead of bless him if he try to trick him on his deathbed. All right, verse 13. And his mother said unto him, Upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice and go fetch me them. And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck. That's how hairy Esau is, man. All right, he's compared to an animal. How hairy he is, man. All right, and she gave him the savory meat and the bread, which she had prepared, into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless thee. All right, so this is Jacob Yaquabin right now. Right? And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, because the Lord Yahweh thy power brought it to me. And Isaac said to Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went unto Isaac his father and felt him. And he felt him and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, and his brother Esau as his brother Esau's hands, so he blessed him. Right? So he recognized the voice, right? Because if you're a father, you're gonna recognize your son's voice. But what threw him off was the hairiness of his hands, man. All right. And he said, Art thou my very son Esau? He said, I am. And he said, Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him wine, and he drank. All right. Isaac probably knew through the spirit it was Jacob all along, but through prophecy, it had to be Jacob that received the blessing, man. All right, because he's asked him multiple times, "Are you really my son?" All right. Verse 26, and his father Isaac said unto him, come near now and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment and blessed him. And he said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of the field, of a field which the Lord had blessed. Right? Because Esau is a man of the field. So of course he's going to smell like outside, man. What do they say in the world, right? The so-called white man smell like wet dog, man. Wet dog smell like outside, man. Right? Verse 28. Therefore Yahweh give thee the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. And it came to pass as soon as and it came to pass as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, Jacob was yet scarce gone out of the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he also had made savory meat and brought it unto his father and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless thee. Salakia. Verse 32, and Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Where is he that taketh venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten all before thou camest, and have blessed him, yea, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. All right. You know, Esau cried like a bitch when he realized he didn't get the blessing, man. All right. Even though he despised it, from the get go, but still, that's still a blessing to be had, man. The nations bow down to you, right? Everyone that curses you is going to be cursed. Everyone that blesses you is going to be blessed, man. That's ultimate power, man. Not ultimate, but that's power, all right? That's what Esau craves more than anything, man. He craves complete dominance, and this is why he's willing to go to war against the Lord for it, man. All right, verse 35. This is really the point I wanted to bring out regarding this article, but through the Spirit, this whole chapter really relates to the article too, because it relates to Jake, Yaquab, and Esau, man. All right, Jake Yaquab Esau for 11 million, just like Jake Yaquab Esau for a blessing, man. Even though it's through the Spirit. Verse Genesis 27:35, and he said, thy brother came with subtlety and hath taken away thy blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these two times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? Right? Is he not rightly named Jacob? Right? So if we go Slovakia, if we go to the dictionary, go to the word supplant. Supplant, to take the place of another, right? Just like Jacob took the place of Esau, right? As to force, scheming, strategy, or the like, right? So Esau was saying, is he not rightly named Jacob? Because Jacob, means to supplant, right? Is he not rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these two times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he has taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? All right. And if we see an image of this guy here, of course it's Jake, man. It takes salt to be able to pull something like this off, man. I'm not praising the wickedness. I'm just saying, our people are wise to do evil, man. All right? Let me jump over to Jeremiah chapter 4. Jeremiah 4:22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. Right? This man didn't probably, and then this man didn't do this overnight. He didn't do this with a couple of phone calls, right? It probably took months, weeks, months, energy, time, and effort of planning and scheming of getting this information in order to Yaquab this man out of $11 million, right? Even though he did it from prison, that's he's wise to do evil, right? The the alleged purpose of prison is to reform criminals so they could come back into society as, uh, quote unquote normal citizens. But since prison is off, the whole structure of prison is off, right? What happens is Jake is sent to prison and they become better criminals. They meditate on where they went wrong and try to recreate or redo their crimes and try to perfect it. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. Because I'm pretty sure every prison in America has uh, not only a chapel or a church in it, but it'll have libraries, it'll have Bibles in it. So Jake could search the scriptures, right, and learn the truth. But instead, they learn wickedness, man. They're wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge, man. They don't want to do good, man. They want to, be as wicked as they can in this kingdom, man. Because in America, wickedness is celebrated. Wickedness is the normal, man. So when you do something that's righteous or quote unquote good, you're shunned upon, you're hated, right? You're despised in this place, man. Jake got 11 M's. I bet you he celebrated, man. All right. People love him for what he did, all right? Even though what he did took salt and talent, it's just showing you how our people are, man. Our people are the salt of the earth, but we use that salt, basically the wrong way. Right? Salt is good for you, but too much salt will cause disease and hypertension and stuff like that, man. All right, retain water rate. All right, but let me go back to this article. The money that Cofield stole from Kimmel was taken from read that the Atlanta Journal Constitution mentioned that this was done through a contraband cell phones, manipulation of customer service representatives, and conversion into gold coins. So this man, had illegal cell phones in, which, in a maximum security prison, that takes wisdom too, but you're wise to do evil again, right? All while inhabiting a small cell inside of a maximum security prison, Cofield used those coins to purchase a $4 million mansion outside of Atlanta, right? Cofield was a shrewd, intelligent individual who could con you out of millions, Morales shared with the Atlanta Journal Constitution. Cofield, in addition to a few others accused of being his men on the outside, pleaded not guilty on charges of accomplishing fraud and conspiracy. All right, so this man wasn't alone, but still, this man was the mastermind behind, with a couple of cell phones inside a jail. He was able to steal $11 million, man. Wise to do evil, man, but to do good, they had no knowledge. But you know what? I'm gonna wrap it up with that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Makakwadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of the great Muslim that rule well. And peace and salutations to the elect of Israel. Until next time, I want to say Shalom and Abad Babal.